Don't see these young cats, man. Ooh, saw me one dog. You coming? Let's see what you got, big boy.
What is going on, guys? Hail to the hogs, coming back at you with another video. In today's video, it's going to be something a little different. It's the start of a new series that I'm going to be doing. It's going to be called the Redskins First Round Files. So the idea here is that we're just going to go through, leading up to the draft, I'm going to be putting these out pretty constantly with a bunch of names of guys. But every video is just going to basically be a draft profile of a certain prospect that I think could end up a Redskin. It's reasonable and rational that they could be drafted by the Redskins. So, I mean, I'm not going to make like a Redskins first round files Sam Darnold, and I'm not going to make a Redskins first round files, you know, Saquon Barkley. These are guys that I actually think could be Redskins. First off, a couple more announcements. I want to take a moment to shout out Redskins Review on YouTube. Be militant. If you guys watch my videos, then you should already watch his. Very good content. Basically does similar to what I do, but he's been doing it for way longer, and he's got a much bigger following, and I personally think his content's way better. But I reached out to him when making this channel just for some advice and feedback. He was very nice to me, very helpful, genuine guy, so shout out to him. Go check him out if you haven't for sure. Another announcement, on April 28th, I believe it is Saturday, the Redskins are hosting a draft day party at FedEx Field, which they do every year, I'm pretty sure, at least for the past couple years. But I haven't been since 2008. So I watched Jake Long get drafted on the big screen at FedEx. I watched Darren McFadden get drafted. I watched Chris Long get drafted. All those guys from 2008. And I haven't been back since. Obviously, I've been back for games. I've been back for a couple events. But I haven't been to the draft day party since then. I will be attending this year. If you see me, come up, say hi, chat it up. Yeah, be awesome to see some of you guys there. I'm hoping some of you guys can come out. And when I went in the past, it was a great event, so I'm very excited for it now. Anyway, let's get into the video. Today's Redskins First Round Files is going to be on Florida State safety Derwin James. Derwin James is someone who I think the Redskins could draft at 13. It's looking more likely as the draft approaches, just due to the fact that the hype for these quarterbacks is just growing and growing every day, it seems like. So this is definitely a plausible scenario. I mean, the top 5, I mean, if you think about the top 12, there's obviously Rosen, Allen, Darnold, Mayfield, there's Barkley, there's Chubb, there's Nelson, there's hype that teams are trading up for Mason Rudolph in the top 15, so that's another name off the board. We're just in a really good spot right now. It's a hard pick to mess up. So if we were able to take Derwin James here, I personally think this would be our ideal scenario if we stay at 13. So Derwin James, he's arguably one of the best defensive players in the draft. Superb athlete, phenomenal at Florida State, and it's absolutely a position of need. There's not much that you need to say about Derwin James. I mean, it honestly shows on the field, but obviously I'm going to address some of the concerns that people would have if we took these players in this series. So, a lot of people, I see us taking Derwin James, and I see a lot of people complaining about us not taking a defensive tackle. This is the thing for me. Don't get me wrong. The secondary in the draft, I think, is very good. You've got guys like Josh Jackson. You've got Minka. You've got Jari Alexander. You've got a handful of guys that could definitely be great corners in the NFL. Denzel Ward, again, another one. But that talent cutoff as the draft is going to go by is steep. A lot steeper than a lot of the positions that we could use. For example, defensive tackle. Definitely some good defensive tackles in the first round. There's no arguing that. You've got Payne, you've got Vea, you've got guys like Maurice Hurst. But I think that position in this draft is something that we don't need to draft in round 1. I like a guy like B.J. Hill. You've got guys like Bilal Nichols. You've got a lot of late round defensive tackle prospects that I personally like. I don't think the talent is that far off as far as a cutoff in value. And I think there's a lot of guys that we could grab in the later rounds that would do us good as well. Deshaun Hand out of Alabama is another guy that I've looked at. So I think that the only reason why we wouldn't draft a defensive tackle in the first round is because that Gruden and a couple of the guys in the front office see some potential in some of these late round guys that I've named. Another thing, the running back issue. Obviously, if we were to not draft a running back at 13, Darius Geis won't be there. Arguably, Ronald Jones won't be there by the time we pick again. So this is another position that it's basically the same thing. I mean, you've got guys like Nick Chubb, Rashad Penny, Sony Michel, to name a few. Those are some guys that I like. But I think the talent is there in the later rounds at the running back position to where we could go ahead and get a nice defender in the first round because the talent won't be there in the later rounds. So that's pretty much it regarding that. Now, when you're talking about Derwin James, you're talking about a position that arguably already has two starters. Quentin Dunbar, I see a lot of potential in him, as well as a lot of other people do, to be a starter in the NFL, as well as Monte Nicholson. So, I mean, these are both guys that could start in the NFL, but I think that just bringing in a guy like Derwin James just changes the face of the defense as a whole, honestly, in my opinion. To basically sum things up, I would love taking Derwin James. If we were to draft him at 13, I would give it an A. That would be my pick grade. I think it would be a great fit at a position of dominance, honestly, a position of somewhat need. Secondary as a whole, I think, is a huge need, so it makes a lot of sense in my eyes. I like the pick. Let me know what you guys think, as always. Would you be okay with taking Derwin James at 13, or are you looking at some other guys? So let me know. Like if you enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe, because this series is going to roll up until probably, April 25th, which I believe is the day before the draft. So yeah, this series is going to be, ongoing until the draft. As you can see, I do have this whole board is just a full 32 team first round mock that I have yet to post, and I'm still tweaking a lot. The changes as far as draft rumors and news, it's just so crazy right now. So that video won't get posted for a while. I'll probably post it the week before the draft, and I'll keep pumping out these videos. But yeah, as always, guys, thank you for watching. Check out the Instagram. Also, shout out to Redskins_HQ on Instagram. He will be providing me with all of the edits for this series. Check him out on Instagram. He has a great Instagram, a lot of good edits, really good at what he does. So, as always, guys, thank you for watching. Hail to the Redskins. Hail to the Hogs. I'll see you guys later.